Hey guys, how's it going? Like Butter here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my ODZ assault rifle build. Now this build is made specifically for the ODZ. It doesn't work so well in the normalized zone because it's all based around weapon damage, and weapon damage gets nerfed so heavily in the normalized zone. This is strictly for the ODZ. I've been using it and building it for like the last couple of days, maybe like 4 to 5 days. And it actually performs really well. So I'm going to start the video off showing you some PvP clips from the occupied dark zone, and then we will get into the build video a little bit later. Vector here. Do you have a pulse?
I do. I'm using it now.
It's Swifty.
How many friends does Swifty have? Jesus.
This place is so toxic.
I got him. Giant lag spike there. Alright, you heal.
This place is so toxic.
Yep. I'm pulsing.
Serious trauma detected.
Like a hero, what up? Thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate that. You got groups in the right, Pete.
They're up behind the cars.
Come this way.
One's come behind us from the door. Nading him.
Down. Across.
I'm blind as fuck.
Done.
Down. Good shit.
Rogue agent nearby.
He's on that box.
Grrr.
Down. I have one down.
Hey, Butter, re-invite Carl.
Got one. Please kill him. I think I got him. No! He's one shot.
Go down that guy on the corner. Oh, behind us.
Resistance.
That's him.
Extraction helo. Almost within range.
Oh, there's a patrol literally in the spawn. Sick.
God. Oh, I shot Carl. Oh, fuck.
Oh, Carl. I shot him too. I peppered his ass.
Down.
Damn, bit of a picnic for that guy.
Patrol detected.
All right, so let's get into the logistics of the build and go over kind of what the dream scenario would be for this build and things that I want to still build towards if I'm going to completely finalize this. I think this build is really solid, but I think there's better versions of this build that are incredibly hard to get, and I'm going to show you guys why here in a second. Okay, so overall, we're running 397. Some people call this the 377 build. You could have 311, 7, 3, 10, 8. It really doesn't matter. The most important is the red stats and the yellow stats. You want 3 red, 7 yellow. That is exactly what you want. Now, I am running 2 gear piece of ongoing directive that gives me 20% weapon handling. I love weapon handling, but I really don't feel too much of a difference in this build with or without it. So the dream scenario for me would be to get a Providence holster and a Providence face mask. And then what I would probably do is I would run, maybe I would give up the 8% health from the Murakami Industries here, because we're going to get that plus 8% health anyways from the 2-piece Providence. And then so our health will stay the same, but then instead I would use Iraldi somewhere. So, you know, if we could do Gila knee pads and then Iraldi backpack, something like that. I have something like that cooking up right now. I'm looking for a way to work this into the build, but that's basically what I want to do and what I think I'll change in the future. This is a really good piece here for that change because I can just switch this out. So essentially, the basic idea is you're going to use a high base weapon damage weapon. You're going to use a high base damage weapon, and you're going to combo that with the Chatterbox and Allegro. So you're going to be getting a lot of rate of fire on top of a disgustingly high base damage weapon. And what's going to be boosting your damage even more are the things that are active in your build. So for example, we have Brutal here. It says it's not active because I have my pistol out, but it will with my assault rifle. This gives you 10% weapon damage for every 10% max armor depleted. Which means we're going to be getting 100% weapon damage from this. We're also going to be getting 25% damage with On the Ropes, and we're also going to be getting 15% damage from Compensated, plus the assault rifle damage on your gloves. Now, the hardest thing about this build is trying to get less than 4 red stats and more than 7 yellows. It's very, very annoying, which is why I'm not running 2-piece Providence, even though I want to. I literally just can't find the pieces. It's very annoying to farm for this build, but if you get it done, it's actually very, very good in the occupied dark zone. Right now, this build still gets shit on by vectors close range, so you kind of have to stay at a medium range. But I think that extra 10% headshot damage would really help. So I'm going to be messing with some stuff in the future, and I could always make an updated video. I'm still going to make an updated video of my Wyvern PvE AR build. I'm still working on that. Most of the pieces are done. But let's just go in and show you what I'm using for attachments on my guns. So you want accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. Accuracy on everything that you possibly can get. So I have accuracy on my red dot, I have accuracy on my suppressor, I have accuracy on my underbarrel. Now usually I would use crit chance here, but there's no reason since you're not using any crit chance with this build whatsoever. For my mag, I'm using the light extended mag. Now there is an extended mag that you can get that makes this build so much better. But for some reason, with the last patch, they locked a lot of the newer, quote unquote, newer attachments that have the bigger positives and have negative stats on them. They lock them behind weekly projects, and it's complete RNG whether you even get a blueprint with your weekly project at all. You might just not get a blueprint with your weekly project. It's completely RNG. I really hope that they add these attachments to like like a weekly, or they could, they could do the control points again like they did. But it's really unfair that somebody gets lucky and gets the 20 round assault rifle mag on their weekly as their weekly project, and then boom, they're like stronger than everyone in the dark zone. That extra 10 bullets with this gun would mean everything. Especially because like reload speed doesn't really matter too much because of the way that I have my third talent on my pistol, which is going to allow us to get a little tankier when we're reloading. I'll show you guys that in a second. But basically, if you can get the plus 20 rounds 5.56 mag that has negative 10% reload speed, this is insane right here. Try to get that in that slot if you can, if you're lucky enough to get it for your weekly projects. So hopefully they have a solution for that in the future. Then obviously we have the chatterbox, and as my third weapon, I just have a Desert Eagle. I really never use it. I don't even have like an optic on it. I guess I could just put on accuracy, I guess, whatever. But where you're basically just using the Desert Eagle for protected reload here. And protected reload gives you 10% bonus armor while reloading, which you're going to get a lot of value out of, considering that you're going to have a decent amount of armor. I consider over 200k pretty good. Obviously, it's not, super crazy. The old version of my build had 250k armor, and I honestly didn't feel a huge difference between that and the 215. So pretty similar. The idea is to get as much health as you can with this build, and I'll show you guys here in a second. So for my mask, I'm using one ongoing directive. It's got skill, power, and health. You want to put health in any slot you can and as much skill power as you can. You do not want any cooldown reduction with this build, guys. Zero. Absolutely zero cooldown reduction. No health on kill, none of that kind of stuff. That's more for PvE. Remember, this is a strictly PvP build. I have a utility protocol mod, which these mods are absolutely terrible. I don't know what they did with the last patch, but like 60 skill power and stuff like that for a 500 mod, it seems a little weird. What most people are doing right now is they're farming blue mods, because you can get like plus 6% assault rifle damage on a blue mod, which is absolutely absurd. Some people probably figure out a way to get them in here, but I don't do that. I never wanted to make a second character. So then on my Fenris chest piece, I'm running Berserk, obviously, and then Vital for the plus 20% health, because remember, we want to get as much health as possible. I got plus 1% damage to armor, plus 4% assault rifle damage, and plus 1.5% weapon damage. You can see we are trying to get as much base damage as possible. That is the most important part about this build. And then on my holster, I am running skill, power, and health again. A couple of utility mods to give us extra skill power. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And then we're going to go into the Gila Backpack. Gila, I guess, I don't know how exactly you'd say it, but basically you just want armor, health, weapon damage, those kind of things. And on the ropes is incredibly important. And if you have a passive stat, a passive attribute, or a passive talent, you definitely want to have harden to get your armor up as much as possible, because you want to be more tanky. You want to be a little bit tankier in the dark zone, because if players are shooting you and you're getting shot by AI and you're a bunch of incoming damage, you want survivability. Right now in the dark zone, survivability is king. Unless you're using a vector and you're just rushing straight up, it's kind of hard to counter that currently with the defender drone. But yeah, so that's basically how that's going to go down. Now, like I said, Providence face mask, Providence holster, and then switch this backpack to Araldi, and then switch these knee pads to Gila, and I think it would be really good. Gila, however you say it. And then on my gloves, of course, you want to run compensated, because remember, we're going to be doing a combination that stacks our damage. And then you want assault rifle damage here, of course. And on my knee pads, this is really important. I also have health on my knee pads. And calculated, kills from cover reduce skill cooldowns by 20%. This is exactly why you want zero cooldown reduction, because you are going to be getting your defender drone and you're going to be getting like your heals back constantly, instantaneously. It's crazy. And then obviously a defensive protocol stamina mod for my knee pads, because remember, we want to stack as much health as possible. And then I am using the defender drone in my first slot, and I'm using the chem launcher in my second slot. Now on the chem launcher, I do have some low level mods that I just happen to have left over from like leveling from 1 to 30. If you can get some purple mods for this build, it'd be good, because 1400 skill power is a decent amount. You can get like level probably 24 to 26 mods, purples, that will help these skills a lot. But I don't know. I don't feel like leveling up another character. I kind of just want to wait until they fix the skill power. The skill power in this game is just, it does not make sense. It's way too hard to get skill power, and that makes it like almost necessary to go to lower levels and get lower level mods, which shouldn't be the case. So hopefully they're working on that soon. And the basic idea of this build, and I'm going to show you guys here in a second, that you may have seen in the video of the PvP. Basically, when you have you can see in the right hand corner underneath my health bar, you see the healing from the chem launcher if you just double tap it. So basically, when you have any of these on cooldown, it's considering this skill on cooldown. So when you use your drone and you're engaging and whatever, and they blow your drone up, this is actually where your build gets the strongest, because you're basically exchanging damage. You have the plus 15% damage from on the ropes. You're getting the stacking damage from Optimus, and not only that, you are basically going to be healing constantly through that if you're using your heals like this. As they're doing damage to you, like, you're going to be getting a lot of value out of Berserk. So Berserk is the one where if your armor's lower, you get more health. So some people might be saying, oh, but the heal counteracts that. The idea is what's going to happen is the heal and the damage that you are taking are basically going to offset each other. So you're gonna use this, right? They say they blow up your drone or whatever. You want to keep your drone up as long as possible. But when you're using heals and stuff like this, on the ropes is going to be procced, and you're going to be doing a ton of base damage, and that is going to allow you to keep that steady low amount of health. That's why my health pool is so big, because it allows you to be a little bit riskier when you're going for max damage. Because what happens is when on the ropes, and you have compensated as well, on the ropes, compensated, and Berserk, when they all work together, you're going to be hitting players for like 60,000 damage, base damage. And it's absolutely nuts. So if you combo that with like the fact that you're going to be getting a ton of rate of fire, it's just absolutely insane how much damage you're going to be doing. Now, I saw in some build videos, people are really, really worried about this DPS number. Just so you guys know, the DPS number in this range is completely inflated. And it goes off of like talents, for example, like Optimus and stuff like that. It's going to basically just be going off of like inflated stats. So don't worry about it too much. Like, some people are gonna be like, oh my God, 37,000 DPS, that's terrible. My build has 2.2K. You got to remember that this is all inflated DPS. It really doesn't mean anything at all. And it actually blows my mind that people think that matters. But anyways, so remember, this is a PvP build. So what you want to do is you want to get both of those things active to get on the ropes working. And then when you get kills from cover, I wonder if it works here. No, it doesn't. Okay, when you get kills from cover, you're going to basically shave 20 seconds of your defender drone off, which is basically going to just continuously stack your drone. Your drone's going to be able to be up all the time, and it's really great for PvP, and it's really, really strong. So when you have all those weapon damages kind of working together, your rifle's going to kind of melt pretty fast, and it's pretty dang good if you ask me. But remember, I have no damage to elites. You guys see how much damage to elites matter? Like, this game thinks my DPS is like 70k. But you can get a lot of like really good strings of headshots and just put players down like almost instantaneously. It's actually quite awesome. And I think this build that you guys will like it a lot. It allows you to tank a lot. It allows you to take a lot of damage, but it also lets you output a stupid amount of damage to players as well. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of this build. Like I said, I think I would like to change it around and get a little bit more skill power with Providence. I don't feel like the weapon handling is too crazy. And if it ever came down to that, where I felt like the weapon handling was too bad, what I'll probably do is I'll probably put Braced back on my knee pads, because I absolutely love Braced. It is so good. But hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you do, be sure to drop the video a like. Just before I let you guys go, though, I'll go through the stats, because I know last video you guys really wanted to see kind of a breakdown of my stats. So here, I'll just slowly go down. You'll see here that we actually have 2,500 weapon damage, which, remember, with all the stacking percentages, that's going to be multiplicative, and it's going to be absolutely nutty. So 0% crit chance because you don't want crit chance at all. 25% crit damage, which is the base amount, and then 55% headshot damage, which that could be increased a little bit. I also want to test out and see how good the if I were to like do more headshot damage, if I could switch specializations. But for this build, you pretty much want to use the survivalist specialization because you want your base damage stacking as much as it possibly can. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If I have an updated version of the build, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But if you're looking for a really strong assault rifle PvP build right now in the ODZ, this is a good version. Now, if you wanted to do this with PvE, there's actually not too much you need to do. I would put damage to elites on your mask. I would probably see if you can get damage to elites on your backpack, which you should be able to. And I would get damage to elites on your knee pads. And then instead of using a defender drone, I would probably use like a heal drone or something else, or even an entirely different skill if you wanted to. Maybe you want to do pulse and you want to do like pulse and then use like the heal. You can do that as well if you feel like, you know, the defender drone's coming off cooldown too much. But the reason I use the defender drone is because it's incredibly OP in PvP. The fact that it just completely deletes such a large amount of damage is just nuts. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate you very much, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Take care, everybody.